Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. And we are the day after Mother's Day. So I hope everyone out there who is a mom or a mom of something or someone had a great day yesterday. Today, I'm really excited about our guest. Mary Grace she is amazing. And what she has done in the past year has been remarkable. And if you are someone who is looking to expand your network, this is definitely the show you want to watch.
Today on Coffee with Kim, coming from Las Vegas, Nevada, is Mary Grace Yniguez. This busy wife, mother, entrepreneur, and mentor is the owner of Social Register and the founder of the Mom Directory, both focused on making meaningful connections with chapters nationwide. Her mission and vision of empowering business owners to connect, empower, support, and grow together have impacted the lives of business owners in a powerful way. Mary Grace, welcome to Coffee with Kim.
Yay! Welcome, Mary Grace. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I want everyone to hear a little bit of your story and how this all came about and what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So I am just like the beautiful reel that Kim created. I am the CEO of Social Register Network. It started out here in Las Vegas 25 years ago, and I used to run the business as a COO for almost 10 years. Since I took over right before pandemic, we've made some tremendous changes. During a pandemic, we were able to expand nationally. So now Las Vegas became a chapter. We have a chapter in DC, in Chicago, in Orange County, and then soon enough in a near metro city near you, hopefully in Seattle soon. So I'm all about building connections, building relationships, and networking, and removing that stigma around networking and removing the transactional networking. Because as we all know, building a relationship is really what will help you in the long run as a business owner. But along with that journey, so I've really been a business owner for a year. And when I started out, I noticed me as a mom and as a wife and now a new entrepreneur and business owner, I really was looking for that tribe and people I can lean on and talk to. And that's where the Mom Directory came about. I wanted women that I can relate to that was on the journey or maybe has been on the journey already that I can really get advice from. I can chat about business and not really feel bad or just feel like I'm talking their ear off. And that's why I decided to launch the group called the Mom Directory. And it is nationwide as well. It has about 100 people in the community itself. And then we have over 300 followers already on social media. So it's a great community to really establish relationships among women who are also moms, CEOs, business owners, maybe they're new entrepreneurs. And it's just really expanded also in a way where I'm sharing my journey and I'm bringing experts in to share their journey. So it's been a neat community for me because I could be myself anywhere, but I feel like there I can talk about mom stuff and I could talk about business all in one place.
No, I've really appreciated being a part of that community as well. You and I have a fun little story of how we got to meet, and it was it's been over a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you kind of talk about that a little bit? That was that picture in the reel too.
Yes. We were at the Empower event, right? And it's hosted by Monica. And I think Monica invited me. And later on, I found out she invited you as well. Was that your first event?
It was. That's me, right? We both have a passion for connecting with people and, seeing how we can support them. And so we ended up sitting next to each other, right?
Yes, we were in the same table, I believe. And it was our first event because it was my first event too. And actually, it was my second day officially being CEO of the organization.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. It was the second day.
Yes, it was literally the
Wow.
second day where I went all in and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to an event and I'm going to network too. So the event went on and I think they even had like a breakout time where everyone could
Mhm.
go and network and meet each other. And Kim and I were sitting right next to each other. I don't know why we didn't network, but I just got up and went around the room. But
Yep, me too.
we happened to network literally at the very end
It
and we
was.
connected right there.
Oh my gosh. It
Yeah.
it is literally like finding a long lost sister. So I'm very, very grateful for it. And we've gotten to kind of, link arms and help, talk with each other during this past year of all the change. But shifting gears a little bit, what do you think has been the biggest success for you this past year in some of the changes? And what are some of the changes that you made?
So what I'm obviously being able to build a team that shares the same values and shares the same mission. That is like one of my successes to me, because it can be very hard to find the people who align with you or, share the same value, because I'm very specific on where I want the business to go and how we take care of our members and what are we trying, what kind of impact we're trying to leave within the community. So that is one of my greatest successes that has occurred this past year, is building a team. But the second is obviously expansion. And that would have never happened if I didn't make any relationships at all, did not connect and didn't build relationships with specific people, and just network. And I think, Kim, you can agree as well that networking just really opens doors for so many different things. It's not just about making this sale. It's about building a relationship that can help you with expansion and growth. And for me, like me and you, we became sisters and personal growth. So for me, it's been personal growth with you and just gaining another person who's a part of my family and my friendship tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the I want to touch on a little bit what you said about, building those relationships, because, we're always, we're always in a hurry, right? We're in a real busy time in our lives, in our communities and the world, and we're trying to just, be on this hamster wheel to try and see if we can just capture that next sale, right? I love how you mentioned that. And I've talked to so many people, right? And that's even with my own customers, right? I'm trying to build on that connection, build on that relationship. That is really what got me through keeping my doors open last year. And I don't think a lot of people, I think they're starting to understand it, because, we've been talking about this a lot, right? We have different people approach it in different ways. And I love how your full focus is teaching people how to do that. So what do you teach? Give us like 3 things. Because there's a lot you teach, by
Yes,
the way.
there is. So I'll do anything from the basics, like if you're scared of networking or you've never done it or you don't realize that actually networking is one of the most affordable marketing pieces you can add to your business if you have no budget in your marketing. So I teach that. The second piece is if you are wanting to network, or maybe you've been networking for 20 years and it just never worked for you, is I teach you how to network the right way. And the right way for me is really building a meaningful connection. And I know, what does that mean? It's getting to know the other person as a person, and then seeing how you can support that person, whether it's maybe they need some help in marketing, they need some help in social media. Can you help them? Or maybe you can connect them with someone that can help them. That's how I go about networking. How can I help you instead of what can I get out of you? I think that's the shift that a lot of people should make. So I teach about that as well. And then the third thing is, then after you get that established and you have your mindset right, I teach you how to build a power player tribe. And that's something where you build relationships with other industries that maybe share the same clientele as you. So that's power players. And then I teach you how to build a tribe of people who are experts, because I just learned that I don't have to know everything, but if you surround yourself with experts in different fields, then you have that tribe. If your client or someone needs help in something that you can answer, you have that tribe you can lean on. So building a tribe, and then building your community, your network of people that you can support, they can support you. You can go to events together, whatever it means to you. It can be friendships, it can be colleagues, maybe you collaborate in so many different ways. So I teach you, that's more of the elevated networking, but a lot of people who are just getting started in networking, they're ready to go to that stage. So I teach those 3 things.
Oh my gosh, I love how you just mentioned it, and it sparked. I was listening to a podcast this weekend, and it talked about the fact that people are scared, right? Even before we had the shutdowns and everything, people are kind of scared to go to these events. And you said maybe have somebody that goes with you. And, if not going to an event or going to a training or going to a seminar, we have that ego or that voice inside of us that wants to keep us down, wants to keep us safe, right?
Yes.
And so being able to step out and go to that seminar that may make all the difference in you personally, or business, or your business, or a connection another way. I love how you just said, have a partner, right?
I know that's what helped me. Even if I own an organization with 2,500 plus members, I still get nervous going to these big conventions or somewhere that's not familiar for me. So I'll bring someone with me, and then you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable, then you're more keen to meet people and just be there and really embrace where you're at, instead of feeling nervous or not as confident, or for whatever you may be feeling. So I always like bringing a friend.
Yeah, no, that's great, because you don't know if there's somebody there that you don't know, correct? And most likely it is the case. So yeah, I'm excited that we're opening up and having more one-on-one. So one of the things that you just said I'm going to click on the right one, because I didn't make it. Oh, no, that's fine. This one right here. I made it for you. Networking is the most affordable way to connect and market your business.
Yes.
So I love that, because it is, right? It's just your time, but our time is valuable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, if you are, where do you find people? I mean, where do you, you have your events, but, how can people, if they're not here in Las Vegas, they're not in one of your, cities, how do people find those things?
So places in their cities? It really depends. If you're just starting out in the entrepreneurial world, I would highly suggest that go on Google, check out the networking organizations or networking groups that really resonate with you, so you feel comfortable if this is just your first time. So if you love golf, and a lot of people have networking and tea or networking and golf, go to that event and check it out, because now you're interested, obviously, because you love to golf, but then you'll meet other people there. But if you are really just starting out, during this pandemic, there are other groups who will do virtual networking. So I've had more of the people who just joined and they started their business. They're nervous about networking. I always tell them to dip their toe in virtual networking, because you're just in front of your camera, you're at home or you're in your office, you feel comfortable. And sometimes, some events you don't even have to turn on your camera. So you could log on Clubhouse. I think, Kim, you've done Clubhouse rooms with us.
Yes.
And it's just audio. So that's another way to get started and get comfortable. Start slow. But I would start out with Google if you're trying to find something in your city. Okay. And then they also have sites like meetup.com. They have eventbrite.com. What I like to do, though, so it's more intentional and I'm really finding the right groups that resonate with me, is I'll go into LinkedIn and check out events on there and check out events on Facebook. So those are other places you can check.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how has this made, having this business and having this type, I mean, you're obviously been the COO for many years, but how has this changed and how has this made a difference for you personally?
Oh.
And
It was,
in business or in
yeah.
business.
I can tell you for the first year, it was a whole learning curve, right? It was, trying to rebrand and take over a business while during a pandemic. So for me, it's really been a hurdle that I feel like I crossed and I'm like, yes, I'm here. So that's how I feel about it. But for me as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, how has it changed for me? I feel like our dynamic in our family has changed too. Like at dinner, our talks are different. To be honest with you, if you want to go personal,
Yeah.
our talks are different during dinner. Like my son is now at that age where he's looking to see what kind of career he wants to go into. So our talks are a lot about business, about finances. My husband is in the stock market, sort of. So we talk a lot about that. I think it really builds another dynamic for the family. For me, that's what I've noticed in the last couple of months, and especially because my son's at that age. The talks are different and really talking about goals and where you want to go in your career.
One of the things that I probably have noticed and have learned in the last, I was in Texas, for several months. And, I thought, I've got children, 30s and in their 20s. And, I thought, okay, my work's done. They can't learn anymore from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most humbling thing that has come to me is even now, our kids still watch us.
Yes.
And even the ones that are out of the house, they still watch and see if are you growing? Are you learning? What are you doing? And what they can learn from you. And so I think that's just been a beautiful thing for me. So I love that you've had that same experience. What are some successes? Is there people that stand out in your mind that have had tremendous success from the experience of being with Social Register or the Mom Directory?
Yeah, the one that stands out to me is actually Luke. So Luke is actually our chapter owner for Washington, D.C., but I'm not going to talk about his story with me. I'm going to talk about who he met at my event. So he came to his first event when I took over in February. So I only owned the business for a month. He came to our event and he actually met his newest partner in business. So they connected at my event. They met the next day and they launched a business together. So they own a website and SEO company. And she actually I think she lives in Seattle now, and he lives in DC, but they own a company together.
Wow. Yeah. That is a huge success.
Yes. Amazing success. When I found out they connected, I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're starting a new business together. And I'm like, what? I mean, that warmed my heart tremendously, because to be able to find a new business venture, a business partner at our events, that's amazing. Within the Mom Directory, I've seen you, I've seen Patty Hunt, I've seen Ati Grinspun, I've seen Leanne on there, that these women just come together and support each other. So I know Patty Hunt is coming onto your show and you guys have connected in some way. And then you and Ati have connected. So for me, the success is just seeing women support each other and come together and do things together, to collaborate with one another, because each of you have your own expertise and you can support each other in business.
I appreciate you saying that, because I'm not going to talk about it here, but I do have a program coming the end of the month. We're going to have a week long, and it's going to be about women supporting women. And
I love it.
I am super excited. I was just going to launch that today later on. So yeah, everybody kind of be watching out for that. But I'm really excited for it. And there's been a lot of inspiration that have come, from associating with the Social Register, with, the the mom directory as a result of, everything that you've created and put together. So, you really should be admired and celebrated. And that's what we want to do here, right?
Yeah.
Have you convey what you do, what you love, and what you want, and celebrate you, and then have people that, can connect with you. And so that's, I'm so excited. I love it when we get people. I mean, we have a couple people watching. If you have on Facebook, if you're watching from Facebook, if you click the StreamYard, you can ask Mary Grace. We have some very sweet comments. Someone just said here, it's all about helping one another, and Kim is great at that. And you two are great at that. And that was one of the things that brought us together, because you said thought it was a little odd, right? Our first meeting when we met, you said, one of the things I always say is, how can I support you? How can I help you? And that really took you back.
Yeah, because I've been doing it for 9 years, and I was always the one that was like, how can I help you? How can I help you? And then I met Kim at that event, and then we got on a call, and the first thing she said to me, after I told her what I do and she told me what she does, she's like, well, how can I support you? What can I do for you that'll help you in your business? And I was like, I didn't know how to answer. Remember, I was like,
Yep.
Yes,
it's kind of
absolutely right, 100%.
Yeah. Oh my
and you
goodness.
taught me, even though that was something I was doing because I was the COO, but you taught me how to do that at a personal level, because for whatever reason, I didn't know how to connect in that way. But when you connected in that way with me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this with others, and it feels okay, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you don't know how to separate business and personal, but I realize you don't have to separate it. No. Yeah.
No,
and that's what you taught me.
Oh, thank you. No, that's the thing with me is, what you see is pretty much what you get.
Yeah.
Learned that from my father. And the one thing I do know is how much I love people. And we're all connected, and we're all pretty similar at the very core, I think, for the most part. And I think we do. That's why we're here. We need to help one another, right? And it does take a community. I spent many of my years looking at when I would go through hard times or whatever, being alone, right? Just kind of going into the corner, because I didn't want anybody to see that part of me. And I had to learn through a lot of years and hard work to nope, you know what? We need a community. We need each other so much. So, and I love that's the business you really have created around that, is that connection and that community. And so I love that, you've taken your social register, you've taken the other piece and found what you've needed, but also what many of us do need, right? And have created that piece as well. And so I commend you for that. So
thank you. But you were a piece of that. I know that we don't really talk about personal things, but a lot of things that I went through personally, Kim was there for me. So knowing that a business relationship turned into a friendship and something that I can take on for many, many, many years is beautiful. And I think that's where people should start, just building relationships, because you never know what'll come out of it.
Yeah, nope, I agree. Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. How can people get a hold of you? So normally I have the little banners done, but we were a little bit running short today. So how do you want them to get a hold of you? And I'll type it up while you're talking still.
Yeah, they can connect with me here on Facebook. You could just tag me on your interview.
Okay.
You can connect here. Or they can shoot me an email. It's just marygrace@socialregister.com.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, of course. And then the email is where you can really reach me. If you're in Vegas and you're looking to network next week, we have an event on the 18th. So yeah, you can check us out.
So now I know you also support other women, and as do I. And for some reason, it's not working. So I'm just going to have to put it down at the bottom,
That's
you guys.
okay.
I apologize for that. But you are also going to be speaking tomorrow on one of our friends' platforms. So tell them a little bit about that as well.
Yes, so I am speaking in Ati Grinspun's Be Your Brand Tribe group. And she focused more on personal branding and just finding clarity around your brand. And she asked if I can do a training for the women in there about building relationships or how to network and really the basics, because a lot of women in there are finding clarity around their brand. And then next step is building relationships and how to network and how to show up. So I'm doing a training on that in her group. It's called Be Your Brand Tribe, and it's at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow.
Okay, so if you're in the Coffee with Kim, we're going to put that. She's part of our Coffee with Kim Facebook group, and so we're going to announce that in there as well, and put that information in. She's also going to be probably on the show in the next few weeks, so you'll get to connect with her as well. So super, super excited. Yay. But if you want to connect with Mary Grace, we will have the links in all of the YouTube and the Facebook groups that we have. You have her name here. You definitely can copy that and get in touch with her at that time too. So it looks like we might have one other comment. Okay. Says, loved what you had to say, especially about you. Oh, thank you. All right, everyone. Mary Grace, is there anything else today you wanted to mention?
No, just build relationships. I always talk about being authentic and being genuinely you, because that's who you're going to attract and align with. And I learned that from Kim. So absolutely, it's okay to be you, because that's the kind of people you're going to attract anyways, and you'll be happy working with those kind of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Thank you again, Mary Grace. Everyone, I hope you've gained some tips and tricks. She gave quite a bit of information. Go back and watch, take notes. I'm going to start having you guys start taking notes, because there are so many great golden tidbits here that we get to experience. So everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.